Don doesn't know whether to be confident based on the starting lineup. You're laughing, Mo. I've got to go. You're cracking up sitting there. What are you saying, G?
Because every game, man, it's the same story with Don. Listen, I do shows with Don like probably a couple of weeks, twice a week. And I need to look at the lineup. Bro, you don't have players. Everybody's injured.
We do have players. What do you mean we don't have players? We do.
I told you before, 5 players on the bench didn't have a Google picture last game.
Only because we've got 12 people injured, Mo. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
We didn't do
you're
that.
Answering yourself. So you're answering yourself.
But we've got more players back now. We've got.
So you have one guy. Is it Caicedo only back to replace?
No, Caicedo's back. Broja might be involved in the game.
Come on. You're not serious there.
No, bro, you're hold on. You're moving the goalposts because a second ago we're putting all these players.
So Broja is back in the squad fully to play the game, so he's gonna start for Jackson.
What you said? No. I didn't say he's gonna start. I said he could.
No, but even if he's in the squad, what does that mean?
It means that we're not gonna have players with our pictures on the bench, bro. That's what it means.
He's got a picture.
Broja has a picture. Broja has a picture. Long story short, I think your main problem starts from the defense. Starts from you asking for him to go to the basics, which is dropping your experienced player Thiago Silva at the back. Is that what you want? And I still think in this game, without Thiago Silva, if you play Colwell, who has been shaky because he played left back next to Disasi, and Chilwell as left back and Colwell as a center back, I think you'll be exposed to the speed of Diaby. I'm talking tactical here. I'm not no banter, nothing. The speed of Diaby, Oli Watkins now in form. I think they have McGinn moving behind the lines. I think the dilemma is that he'll have to go back to the back 3 again to protect the defense, because you cannot go against Aston Villa even at home and play expansive football and leave Thiago Silva one-on-one with Diaby or something. This is just me being logical.
Diaby plays on the right and Thiago Silva plays right centre back, so they're not.
But that's the problem. If you play Chilwell as a left back, he's an offensive left back. Chilwell is suspect to defense. Is that correct? Do you agree with that?
Yeah,
statement?
but Colwell at left back, bro. Colwell playing left back up against a good winger. I saw it against Liverpool. It is not a good side.
So would you rather have Chilwell as a left back against a good winger or Colwell defensively against?
I'd rather put Chilwell there. In all honesty, Chilwell's actually played that role time and time again. He knows that role inside out. As much as I don't rate him defensively, I'm sorry, man. Levi at left back, the angles are different to when you're playing at left centre back, and defensively, it's very, very easy to get past him. And he's not as quick as Chilwell. As much as I don't rate Chilwell like that, I'd rather Maatsen. You know, Colwell's slow. He's not the quickest. He's not the quickest, to be honest.
Yeah, just Chelsea at the end. Chelsea, to be honest with you, it's not looking good for Poch if he doesn't win this game. I'm starting to think, listen, yes, you have the style of play, but the players are lacking confidence. I think he's going to lose a little bit of, the players are going to lose a little bit of faith, and it's going to be long. It's going to be a problem from there because he's
making it difficult for himself. You know what I'm saying?
Look, it's already difficult enough for Poch right now. The only big issue with Chelsea is Don is not on the coaching staff. Clearly. That's the only thing, because
sign me up, man.
Other than that, these boys are a mess, and there's too many ifs and buts when it comes to this Chelsea squad. There's too many of them. There's no guarantees. Like, what's the one guarantee with Chelsea? That they're going to disappoint their fans. That's the only thing that's guaranteed with Chelsea this season. And it's not, and it's unfortunate, but that's the current situation, and they've just got to eat that. Don's hoping for a miracle right now with this Chelsea squad.
No, I'm not hoping for a miracle. I'm sorry, I'm not hoping for a miracle. Me asking for players to take responsibility shooting outside the box is not a miracle. Me asking Gallagher to be able to play a through ball to an attacking player who's been playing football for how long now? It's not a miracle. These are basics of the game, bro. So let's just strip it back. Let's just
captain in your last game, bro.
Is that my choice? Is that my choice?
But
this is what I'm saying.
Regardless if it's your choice or not, it's the current situation, Don. Like, and that's what you understood. It doesn't matter what your choices are. You say if this happens, that happens, that happens. That is not happening. We're all watching what's happening at Chelsea right now, and it's failure, relegation form. I think the best that you guys can hope for this season is top 6, and that's stretching it.
Yeah, I think you're overdoing it a little bit, to be honest with you. I know we haven't been great. I've been on here, you know, I've been on here after every game, literally grilling the team. You know, people have been telling me Chelsea are dominating games. I've said it already. To me, keeping the ball and not doing anything, having that intent to actually attack and score a goal is not dominating the game. I don't care if we've got 80% possession. Do something with the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? When I'm watching Arsenal and I'm seeing you guys attacking, I'm seeing an actual style of play. I'm seeing a proper threat. You know, I'm watching Liverpool. Every time they're attacking, it looks like they're going to score. I'm watching us, bro, and I'm like, bro, like people are just improvising. What are they working on all week? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So again, to actually increase the chances of being an attacking threat, play people in their normal position. Gallagher, it's time to get dropped. Do you know what I'm saying? People think I hate this guy or whatever. I'll be honest with you, it's football. He's not good enough to be starting for Chelsea.
If you drop
but he looked better than Enzo last game. So
yeah. I'm sorry.
Enzo, listen. Gallagher's good is not good enough for Chelsea. Yeah, because when it comes to the final third, the guy hasn't got the quality. He hasn't got the quality. Yeah, Poch loves him because of his intensity and he runs around and in transition he is better than Enzo. In all honesty, but we still need to see Enzo in that pivot. That's his best role, further back dictating the game. So if I had to pick my midfield, I wouldn't start Caicedo. Caicedo's apparently going to be on the bench, but he's been doing individual training all week. He done team training today, apparently. I would start Leslie again and play Enzo next to him and play Palmer in the 10. Every time Palmer's come on, he's looked like something, looked a little bit more threatening than what we've already started with. So it's time to change it up. I want
to say something on Palmer. A lot of City fans who I kind of follow online are kind of miffed that Chelsea are talking about playing him in a 10 when he's not a 10 and he's a right winger. What's your response to that?
If you literally go on transfer market and check the position that Palmer's played the most since 17-18, he's actually played as a cam the most times since 17-18. Cole Palmer can play as a number 10. He can play as a 10 and he can play as a right winger. He's literally said it himself. When we signed him in the interview that he did, he literally said it himself.
As a 10, Don?
I've seen him play. I've seen him. Yep, I've seen him play in the 10 for City in the Champions League. I've seen him play in the 10 for us. I've seen him play in the 10 for England. He can play as a 10 comfortably.
So not many times then. Don.
What do you mean not many times? I've seen enough games of his to know that he can play in the 10, and I know what his attributes are.
One of those games was currently playing for this team, Chelsea. How can that be one of the games that you've seen, bro?
What is it not a professional game or something? We can't add it or something. We literally brought him in to play in that role as well. He's a versatile player. He can't just play on the right. He can play as a 10. He can play as a 10. If you've been watching Palmer for a while, you know he can play in that 10. And he literally said it himself.
Hey, Don, the issue with Chelsea is after 1 billion spent, there's not one player in your squad that scares any of the top 6, bro.
But Kunle, I've said this to you already, bro. I'm not... that's fine. That's fine for you to have that opinion of us not having individuals that you're scared of. I want us to play as a unit. Is it an opinion
or is it a fact?
Bro, like I said, you know what we've signed. We've signed a lot of young players, yeah? And everyone's criticizing Chelsea. We should have brought experience, etc., etc.
Don, man, you literally have an answer for everything. I do rate it.
Bro, he's asking...
This is deep what you said, though. You just deep what you said. I don't care if Chelsea don't have a single player that anybody's scared of, as long as we are basically scary as a unit. My challenge to you then, what happens when you've got no scary players and you're not scary as a unit?
Yeah, but the only scary player that I'm looking at right now is Nkunku. But I'm not going to use him as an excuse to say, oh, we've got to wait for Nkunku to fix up. I think we've still got more than enough quality to fix up. I think when you start looking at individuals, that's when you start making excuses. I'm not making excuses for this team. You know what I'm saying? We've got more than enough right now to make a meal. And Poch is messing up the kitchen right now. Do you get what I'm saying? So
I hear you on that.
That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it.
Levi here says, please don't let Don get away with it. He predicted Chelsea to come top 4, gassing up all his signings. Now, basically, you're saying you can't give score predictions until you see the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I've said before, if Poch carries on with this setup, we won't finish in the top 6. If he reverts back to basics, I'm still putting us in the top 4. I put Liverpool ahead of us because they've got more firepower, but I still think we can finish 4th. If he goes back to basics.
You still think you're going to be better than Tottenham this season?
Yep. Overall, we've got our squad has a lot more quality than theirs. Terry, I've heard you a few times talking about the players that are coming back for United. So why can't we look at the players that we're missing as well?
Can I tell you why, Don?
We're literally missing like 5 key players that could potentially start for us, bro.
Can I tell you why, Don?
Nkunku and who?
Bro, Reece James, Nkunku, Lavia, Badiashile. I can keep going. There's a few players right now that are missing that aren't in this 11.
Let
me tell you something, Don. Here's the difference, though. And I'm going to mention Spurs into this because we were just talking about Spurs and United. The difference between your team and us and Spurs...
Don't mention United to me, please. Be careful. Be very careful what you say.
Should I just leave? Because, I mean, this was the topic that we're talking about right now.
No, because I know you're going to... Go, carry on.
You don't know what I'm going to do.
I'm going to come back to you in a minute. Again, I know that United are in the mud right now. We're in the mud. We're terrible, but we're still ahead of you in the league, in the Champions League. Like,
don't be shameless.
Man United are in the mud right now. But if it weren't for the fact that we are, and I did this search the other day, I searched Man United and I searched Chelsea on Google. 14.6 billion results on Man United in 1.5 a second. On Chelsea, 226 million. It's only because we are exponentially bigger than you that the talk's more on us. You guys are in much more trouble than Man United.
No, we're not, bro.
You're in much more trouble
than Man United. What are you talking about? Literally every single game.
I'll tell you why you're in more trouble than us. In your last 37 games as a club at league level, you have 39 points.
Oh, so we're talking about last season again?
So you take last season again because football doesn't begin. No, but this season you're tracking towards around 38 points again.
You could have literally lost every single game this season. You've been pammed by every single team. You've been pammed by every single team.
We haven't been pammed by every single team. We won 2 games.
We could have had that offside goal versus Arsenal. We could have had that offside goal versus Arsenal and won. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and revise history.
Nah, I'm sorry. Listen,
this wasn't even the talk about United. I was going to talk about this.
We're going to get back off. I'll let you land your point. Man United and Chelsea arguing is a micro penis competition. At the same time, though, it is. But what I'm saying to you as a Chelsea fan, you can't get past your shame by talking about Man United when you're sitting deeper in the mud and the mire. And, it was only a few months ago we were winning trophies. You guys were literally struggling to survive in the Premier League. You wouldn't even announce the signing of Poch until you were mathematically safe. Like, you're in a bigger trouble than anyone.
I'm sorry. You are. Listen. We're definitely not in a worse position than Man United right now. Yeah? No. The stats speak for themselves. And the stats speak for themselves.
That's actually wild.
That is not wild. You should have. Hold on. Let's go through every single game that you've played this season. Then let's go for every single game.
The stat says, man, you're
hold on.
My main players. That
are we just gonna
system to work?
I'm gonna be. Hold on. No. Because for you Man United fans to delude yourself,
I haven't even said anything. No. Deluded.
You literally just said. I'm gonna say. You literally just said that you're in a better position than us. I'm sorry, you're deluding yourself.
I didn't say anything. I want to explain why us being in a better position than Chelsea doesn't mean we're in a good position. We're both in shit positions, but I can explain to you why we're in a better position. You want to sit here and talk about the players, this and that. My manager, listen, even if I don't rate some of the things that he's done, he still hasn't been able to play a certain system that we can't see because his main characters that he bought this season are not fully fit. He gets one, then the other one gets injured. He gets one back and two. No, other than Nkunku, your main man in the midfield, and I've said that this guy is going to be the most important one to come back. I've sat on the stream with Carefree Lewis, and he said, listen, we put out starting 11s every week that should be good enough to play a certain style and win these games. Because you're talking about injuries. You're talking about Reece James. You still have a very good right back who's replacing him, Manu Gusto, that I actually rate as the same level as James, and I have a higher ceiling for him, and that's me personally. You're looking at your defenders. Yes, you have Badashile injured, but you still have defenders that are good enough to play that system. You look at the midfield.
Clearly not, because we have to play a back three.
You have Enzo and Caicedo. Hold on, man. You have Enzo and you have Caicedo available. Yes, Nkunku, when he comes back, I think he's quality and he will make a difference. But you still have now Cole Palmer who's playing there. And according to you, you rate him and you want him to start there. You have Sterling, you have your striker, and you have enough right wingers. We actually don't have the luxury of one player going out and you're like, you know what? Maybe there's a slight drop-off, but he should do a good enough job. We have Anthony who has court cases. We have Sancho who doesn't want to apologize and is beefing with the manager. We don't have our main left back. We had to sign a third left back from Spurs on a 6-month loan. We have Varane who's always injured. He's our main center back, but he's injured and we could have replaced him and we got Johnny Evans for him, closing out the game in the Emirates. And we have our midfield, Sufyan Amrabat, who we signed, who's on an injury. When we signed him, hasn't played a game yet, and we know he's going to be one of our main midfielders. And we had a youth that got promoted that he wanted to give all the minutes to, that got injured in preseason, and we have to put in Eriksen, who, no disrespect, this guy almost died on the pitch 2 years ago because he can't run. So we're putting him against the likes of Brighton and Arsenal and Bayern Munich, and he can't track back, and we're conceding cutbacks every game. See how many problems I just named that are nothing compared to yours. I mean, sorry,
I can name you a major problem.
Guys,
right now,
let me just slow this down a minute. Let me slow this down because this has kind of gone off topic a little bit. What I'll say is this, right? We've all got problems. We've all got issues. But Ten Hag has spent £385 million. In that same time, you've spent £1 billion. Just in 2023 alone, you mentioned stats. City have the most amount of points in the league in 2023, 68. Arsenal, we all rate as a good team, have 54 points in that time. Man United in that same time period have got 49 points. We're talking about, they started the season poorly, but everyone's talking like Man United are in crisis and can't turn this around. In that same time, Chelsea have 22 points. So for me, spent more than double of our manager, can't buy a win, can't score a goal, and in the calendar year you're tracking towards relegation, right? For me personally, I just don't think Chelsea fans right now, you can have a little laugh when we lose games, should be chatting to anybody's football club about we're better than you, we're in a better position than you. I think that's crazy. And your first line was, you think you're finishing in front of Tottenham right now. You're playing exceptionally well.
Let me respond to Staffy, yeah? So first of all, Staffy, you're right in saying that we've got more quality available right now. But I'm sorry, bro. It's football. If you're not using that quality correctly, you're not going to get anywhere, yeah? Poch is using the tools incorrectly. So you can talk about all of these players that we have and you don't and all these problems you've got. But I'm sorry. I'm seeing guys constantly being played out of position. So that's not going to help us build anything, bro. That's number one. And Terry, on what you're saying as well, I'm specifically talking about this season. I'm talking about this season. I've said it 1,000,001 times. Last year with Graham Potter and Frank Lampard was a Black Mirror episode. That did not happen. Yeah, that did not happen in my life. Yeah, I know the stats are there. Season, I know the stats are there and whatnot. It's continued. But listen, we're judging a whole completely different team. We're talking about a brand new season. Why are we still talking about? I get Chelsea. I get overall. I get overall. I get all of that.
I can tell you why. Don, I can tell you why. I can tell you why. We use history to predict what clubs are going and players are going to do. We talk about heritage in the Champions League, fans having an understanding of having been in important positions before, and it helps their teams. Equally, experiences that Arsenal had last year will help them into this season. The same as if you've had bad experiences. Man United right now have a real big problem away from home against big teams. That is an area that we are psychologically damaged in. Just the fact that it's a new season and it's a new campaign doesn't remove that psychological damage. For you guys,
these players want to be a part of
your problems of last season, and a lot of these players were part of that, is slowly creeping in. Now, I've backed you guys to get better this year, but that's why I've said in the next few games, it isn't just win. You've got to start winning and playing well overall. Otherwise, that confidence that was maybe built during the summer, because it's a new campaign, new manager, clean sheet, all the psychological damage will start to creep in and impact the new players. How do I know this? I've seen it happen at my club with 5 different managers. History matters. You can't just go, right, it's a brand new campaign and everything that happened before is completely and utterly irrelevant. Football, sport, life, the human brain doesn't work in that way, bruv.
Guess what, Terry?
Go on.
You've literally hit the nail on the head. And that's exactly why Poch needs to set us up in the correct way and play everyone in their position. Because right now, like I've said to you last season, and I've already said to you now, he's not being brave enough. He's not being brave enough. And like you've said, if he carries on going on the way he is right now, what was happening last season will carry on and it will get worse. So you are right in what you say, Terry. But this is the manager picking up the team that he's saying that, isn't it?
9 minutes of debate, and thank you, Don, for admitting I was right. I love that, bro. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that a lot. I love it, my G. I mean, Patty didn't even say anything about Chelsea being better than Tottenham this year.
Yeah, I did. You know, I love Don. He's my guy, but you couldn't let me get a word in edgeways. And obviously, him and Staffy were going back to forth. So I just let it. But yeah, I think Staffy's right when he says that you guys don't have anyone. When I look at that Chelsea team right now, I don't see anyone that I'm like, oh my God, that guy's gonna. You know, Sterling used to be that guy. He's not anymore. Mudryk is not doing anything. Even Mana Solomon, and this isn't even me dissing Mana Solomon looks better than all your attackers. And this is a guy that it's a joke, but it's true, isn't it? Man,
needs to fix up, bro. Man are laughing at them. This is what I'm saying. I hope they're watching this and they turn up on Sunday.
Better than all your players, and this is a guy that most of us didn't want. He came in on a 3, and we're like, oh, but he's actually been decent. But yeah, I said it, and I said it before the season, and I'll say the same thing now. The biggest problem Chelsea have is that Pochettino or the board, whoever it is, signed too many players. Poch doesn't know his first 11. He doesn't know his first 15. It's 5-6 games in. He's still messing around. When players come back, how are you going to implement them all, fit them all in? You're even saying yourself, Don, you got Enzo, you know, you want him deeper. Other people are saying that Palmer should be a 10. This guy should be here. It's taken too long to figure things out, and you're dropping points each week.
But it shouldn't take this long. It should not take this long, Patrick. It should not take this long.
And Don, you know what the biggest problem was? Pre-season, you had a back 4, you looked really good. As soon as the first game started, you went to a back 5. I don't understand the logic behind that. And then that's just thrown everything out. Like you said,
it's not actually a back 5. We're still playing a back 4, but we're playing an extra centre back. That's what the problem is.
Yeah, it's weird. Playing 3
centre
backs. Need to do that.
Silva, bro. Yeah. Silva's the issue.
Yeah, Silva needs to get dropped.
You might as well have been better off just not signing the likes of, like, you know, you were rushing to sign Lavia, Caicedo, this player, that player. It would have been better off just going in with that squad that you had in pre-season. I'm telling you now, Poch proved it with with Spurs with little resources, you can conjure something up. Right now, it's like he's got too many ingredients. You don't know what to make. You don't know what to add to the jollof.
And you know what really annoys me as well, yeah, is that you guys know that Chelsea haven't had a DM, yeah, proper DM since Matic, yeah. We've actually got a few profiles now. I know Lavia's not available, but you've got Leslie, who had a good debut. In the cameos that I've seen of he's come on, he's looked really reassuring for a 19-year-old as well. I think he's like 6'4" or something like that. So he adds a little bit of physicality in there. You've got Caicedo as well in there. What is the need to have someone, you know, why are you going to have these DMs and not make them earn their money? Do you know what I'm saying? You don't need 3 centre-backs at the back. If you drop Silva and you play Levi and Disasi as a back in that pairing, you've got someone in front of them that can actually defend them and help them out a little bit. So I don't understand why he's got this handbrake up. That's what I'm saying. He's not being brave enough. Patrick's right in what he's saying. Like he's got the players there, but he's overthinking it a little bit. Like, oh, I have to get Gallagher in there. Like Kunle said, Gallagher's our captain. What's going on there? The guy is on the verge of leaving the club. Now he's Chelsea captain. Like, what's going on?
Maybe that's just a lot about the that you signed, though. Maybe Poch is looking at it being like, hey, you know what? We're talking about Ugo Chukwu. Maybe he's not that guy. You know what I mean? Maybe Caicedo is looking at it in training.
Ask Mo about him. Listen, I'm not going to talk about him. Ask Mo about him, bro. Ask Mo about him. Mo, what do you think of Leslie?
I don't think Mo's answer is going to convince us, bro.
No.
Let's explore. I don't think we really can.
See, Kunle's a hater.
We can ask him. We can ask him.
What do you think of Leslie?
But like,